Okay, Dylan. Looking forward to meeting you. Thank you, Steve, Stell, Blake, Face Warriors. I'd like to introduce you to Dylan Shepard of Simple Trends. Waiting to hear your voice, Dylan. How are you? See your screen. Nice call on silver the other day.
Hey Dale, how you doing?
Good. Great to meet you, Dylan. Thanks so much for taking some time out today to address our community. And nice silver trade the other day for that pop. So,
What's that?
Nice silver trade. You were looking for a pop. You got a nice pop towards 1440. I saw it on Twitter. You said it had recaptured a mid-bully band, and you guys were long looking for the pop, and that's before it really came out and headed up towards that 1440, 50 level.
Yeah, well, it was a
Nice
decent
call.
start.
Yeah. So, how long have you been at this, Dylan?
I've been trading not too long, honestly, Dale.
Well,
5 years.
okay.
I'm
You know
26.
that
I started kind of messing around with markets and trading.
you know, that's kind of like. Are you going to show us your screen so we could look at some charts and some of the things that you do and teach? There is
Absolutely,
a screen
if I can figure out how.
There's a drop-down menu. There you go. I have your charts up now. I have silver up. So, okay. So, 5 years, Dylan, is the average answer I get. I've interviewed quite a few traders, and I ask them, well, how long did it take you to make breakthroughs and become consistent and know that you knew how to do it? I mean, even though all of us, no matter how long we've been doing it, go through drawdown periods. So 5 years you've been at it. Why don't you take us back before that? What were you doing before you started messing around, and who brought you into the industry? What was the catalyst for you to become a trader?
Well, I was in college at the time, probably a junior, and my dad had always managed his own portfolio. So I was always kind of around it, and that's how I got interested. Had a small amount of cash to sort of mess around with, which obviously, as you know how it goes, that went pretty quick. I lost that all.
Okay.
There's always a learning curve.
What was your biggest lesson from that losing money on your first go around?
Maybe don't. So what I did, I don't know if you remember.
Don't trade live for maybe 6 months or so, or reduce leverage dramatically until you know what you're doing.
Definitely
reduce that
one. Leverage.
Okay.
Small size. Be patient. Only trade the perfect setups. Don't trade every little thing you're looking at.
Right.
You get wrapped up in the excitement of trading, and you want to be doing something all the time, or else you feel like you're not trading.
Great point. So a lot of it's in your head.
Absolutely.
Not in the charts, in your head.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not as you'll notice, you probably already noticed, I'm not really a strict chart trader. There's a lot of other things that I take into consideration before putting out a trade. So
you pay attention to fundamentals. So why don't we start with silver? And I know the tweet I saw was because it had recaptured like a mid-bully band or something. I'm not sure what the time frame was, but what else is a consideration besides the chart that we're looking at here? It looks like you have bully bands up there, something like that, plus a channel that broke out of. What do you look at fundamentally in the precious metals market to give you a bias one way or the other?
Well, so here's just going back to what you were talking about with the recent call. So here's silver, obviously a downward channel there, which had failed to break out several times, and finally did. And it also happened to line up with that mid-Bollinger Band.
Okay.
And as you can see, it also has been rejecting that every single time. So
Okay.
see that reclaim. Now it's kind of fighting with it again, going the wrong way, but it's still trying to hold above. And for me, taking into account sentiment and positioning, this is still very constructive as long as we bottom somewhere around here. I don't want to see it much lower.
So what do you use to gauge sentiment in silver?
So sort of how my process works, you've probably seen, I used to post my weekend reviews on Twitter. Now I'm posting them to our website, and I'll just kind of post little snippets. But my starting point is always looking at COT reports.
Okay.
Um,
So are you looking to be on the same side of the commercials, or and fade the small spec?
I don't really watch small spec too much. I'm watching large spec. If this chart will load, here's silver.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, the basics of this for those out there listening who don't know, commercials in general is the smart money. When you have extreme positioning, you want to be on the commercial side. You don't want to be on large spec. Large spec is here in the green, and they are short silver right now. And we'll zoom this out a little bit. Here's a 5-year chart. As you can see, large spec has never been more short in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and the red is the commercials, and they've never been the closest to flat I've seen them on your chart in many years, right? You know what's funny about silver, Dylan? I just tried it. You know how you could hashtag things, and you just put the number sign up and type a word, and on Twitter it'll come up. Try and hashtag silver. There's no hashtag for it, or at least one that doesn't pop up. So definitely you have an underloved commodity here.
Yeah.
And absolutely. So I think the COT is more constructive silver than gold, because a lot of people were pointing towards the extremes in gold as well over the last few months while it's been getting crushed.
Actually, the gold is kind of caught up to silver in that aspect. So this is going back to 1994.
Okay.
And we're at a record here in silver positioning. I know everybody, especially yesterday after FOMC, there was so much panic that gold and silver did not go up after the meeting. Well, the fact is they raised rates, and they didn't come out dovish, they were hawkish. The real win was the fact that they didn't go down. They finally stopped going down. So here's silver going back 20 years. They're at a record.
Okay.
We'll go back to gold.
So COT is like a big thing. Have you ever noticed that the commercials have pretty deep pockets because they could be early by 6 months, while we don't have the same type of staying power that they do? Because really they're hedging.
And that's the key is if you're using COT reports to base your trades off of to some extent, you want to be patient. You want to wait for very extreme setups. And that's why, like I said earlier, for beginning traders, you don't want to trade just every little setup you see that might work out. You want to trade the best setups. In this case, you want to trade the most extreme positioning. So here's gold.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I think it's impossible for people to have that mindset if they're, trading off 60-minute charts, maybe even 4-hour charts. So for people to have that kind of mindset to look for the kind of trades you're talking about, you really need the patience of Job, because maybe you only get, 4 or 5 kind of setups like that in a year. Sometimes it's, this has been developing in silver for years. So if you wait for these types of setups, how many do you see pop up in front of your face in a year like this?
Like this, not too many this extreme.
Okay, that's what I mean. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So this is a rare opportunity, and there's a couple reasons. My time frame has really lengthened here. I was already kind of a longer term trader. Average holding time probably a month. That's going up here lately, just due to all the noise in the markets, everything going on. It's just crazy. Different breaking news every minute. It seems like.
do you do anything in FX, Dylan? Do you do anything in FX?
I don't trade FX. I do analyze FX.
So do you think that there's, if you're a silver bull, are you going to be correlating that you think we need a weaker dollar for silver to begin in advance, or can it rally with the dollar being either like neutral or even bullish?
It can rally with the dollar. That's not my view right now. My view is at the top, and the dollar is in for some time to come.
Okay.
I think we topped out right there, and let me expand.
At 97, right?
So we got to a point. I was bullish the dollar down here, and that was just due to extreme positioning, and we've rallied off those lows. And large spec has been pretty quick to attack this move and get long with it.
All right, let me ask you on the silver. To me, it looks like there's a decent chance of new lows coming. Gold retraced 50% today. Maybe it'll go 61.8. What would be your next level that you would be looking to probe silver if we made a new low?
If we made a new low in silver?
Yeah.
I would be looking to add really anywhere under this previous low if we get some good positive D.
Okay.
I don't think it's going too much.
You're talking divergence, D, right? Okay. What tool do you use to measure divergence? RSI, stochastics, MACD?
Yeah, mostly RSI. We had some positive D here on these two lows. To go make a lower low, we may just even strengthen the case there.
I renamed RSI.
What's that?
I renamed RSI.
What'd you call it?
Real Simple Implicator.
Do you use RSI?
Yeah, I use RSI.
Yeah.
I missed her RSI. Oh, no. I'm Mr. 3 Drive. I don't know what I am. I'm just coach. But, okay, Dylan, so why don't you tell us what your business model is, in case some of the viewers that are with us now want to, get in touch with you and possibly work. Do you teach? Do you run a trading room? Do you have a signal service? What do you do? Your website is guruhavenslack.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I got was a sign up when I went there.
Yeah, so this is not the permanent version of the website. They are working on. I'm not working on developing it so much. I don't know if you follow Kobzi on Twitter, but he is the one who came to me with this idea, and he wanted me to be a part of it. So we have as you can see down here, I have an alert section, I have a chat, and this is my research this is where I now post my weekend reviews.
Okay.
Very in depth, and here's a little bit about. I covered the post FOMC, the way the market took that meeting yesterday.
Okay, so I see you called yesterday's action in U.S. dollar yen pretty bearish, with it rallying back over 1303. What would be your take on the yen now after it's almost retraced the whole decline yesterday?
Well, honestly, I haven't.
I don't know. I don't know is a good is a valid answer. Yeah.
But as of now, I'm looking at this as a double top in the dollar yen.
Okay.
And I'm expecting this to come down to this 108 area.
Okay.
On a shorter term time frame.
Where would you begin to step into a trade? Would you sell it on the way up or wait for some type of negative price action?
I like to sell on the way up. I like to scale into a position.
Okay.
I'm not one that looks for a breakdown. I'm not a momentum trader.
Okay.
I like to sell on the way up, buy on the way down, and build, if I can, a large position. If the market allows me to.
All right. Well, I'd really like to, anything you want to wrap it up with that you wanted to share with our audience today, Dylan?
So I'll just go over my process real quick.
Okay.
If I can. I do the same thing every weekend. Just about. It doesn't really deviate. I like to be consistent, and I'm all about structure and my process and repeating that over and over. So I always start my reviews, and that's the most important part of my process. So I base my trading off throughout the whole week. I start with COT reports, and I start with the dollar, analyze currencies. Then I come to bonds, and then I come to commodities, and then I do a little bit of stocks. I don't trade stocks too much. I mostly focus on commodities, but I like to analyze everything and give myself a good macro picture. I find a lot of times that if you listen, the market will tell you a story. And as yesterday, post FOMC. So here's what I found yesterday, and this is our website. I'll just give you a little peek of what I was doing last night. So obviously, Fed raised rates. They sounded pretty hawkish to me. The dollar really had a pretty muted reaction. Pretty volatile. All in all, didn't really go anywhere. So what I have on the dollar right now is this looked like a fake breakout to me, and this is very bearish. And now we're testing this midpoint in the pitchfork.
Okay.
I was kind of wait and see, but my bias is for much lower. Looking for 92 here pretty quick, and then I think we're going back into the mid to high 80s.
All right, that's interesting, and so we're probably, it's a timely bit of analysis too, because if it is going to turn bad, we're getting close to where it should, right, buddy?
Right, and this is a clear head and shoulders pattern. And what I like about this is nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
When you have a head and shoulders pattern, normally everybody wants to talk about it. And
you're right.
They're quick to jump on that train, whichever way it's going.
Yeah.
But nobody's watching.
Don't get on the long black train. It's
What's
a great
that?
song by Josh Turner. Play that song, Long Black Train by Josh Turner. That's get on that
song.
train.
I'm with you on that one.
You like it? All right. So, I want to thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, like it or not, you're my trading warrior brother. I wish you and all the people that you work with, the pips rain down on you, buddy. And
thank you. Same to you.
I appreciate that. And why don't we keep in touch, and some very nice looks and ideas, Dylan. So again, I want to thank you for sharing your journey, some of your methods, and some views you have in the market. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. And hopefully when these plays turn gold and silver, I have a longer term view on these. And,
okay.
I've been very clear on Twitter.
All right.
I think they're going.
Well, I'm never against having great guests like you return. So we'll do it again. It's a promise.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dylan. Everyone, you could follow Dylan on Twitter at @simple_trends. and keep an eye on silver and the dollar and gold, and let's see how things play out in the days ahead. I want to thank all our viewers from investing.com and our regular warriors here, and I'll see everybody tomorrow to wrap it up for TGIF. Remember, most of all, even if you're having a great day, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See everyone tomorrow. Adios. Thanks again.
Thanks,
again,
Dale.
Dylan. All right.